allow Biden to temporarily suspend loan payments for certain low-income and middle-income borrowers. Let's discuss now the outcome of this with Maria Cardona, CNN's political commentator and a Democratic strategist, and Rina Shah, a Republican strategist, who are both joining me here tonight. I think when we look at the decisions of, the student loan ruling today, it's clear like it was a final ruling. Some of the other rulings we got this week were open to interpretation. But on this one specifically, what do you predict the reaction is going to be among Democratic voters?
Oh, Democratic voters are already letting their voices heard, especially the young people. Caitlin, what I have heard from so many people across the board, young voters, Latino voters, Black voters, they're saying that this is completely unfair, that this is something that is going to mobilize them in the upcoming election. This decision, if it had gone through, Caitlin, would have given 43 million people, as you know, the ability to get rid of their student loans. 50% of Latino students would have been under that. 40% of Black students would have been under that. In Black and Latino families, that would have been game changer, not just for their families, but for their generation. That's the kind of thing that you look at this country and you say, this is the difference between me and my family and my kids being able to live the American dream or having to essentially live paycheck by paycheck for generations. And so that is, it's going to be a huge contrast going into the 2024 elections. I can already see the ads being written. And I think it's something that Democrats are definitely going to be underscoring.
But it's not like Republicans were shying away from this. They were touting this as a win today. The question, though, I think is, we saw with Roe versus Wade, that was a similar reaction, but it actually ended up mobilizing a lot of voters and hurting Republicans in the midterm elections, potentially in 2024.
Well, this one's a bit different. It is true. Gen Z delivered the White House for Joe Biden. But what does this mean for Republicans when we talk about forgiving the loans of over 40 million Americans that took out loans and should be paying them back willfully? And the reality is this. There was a good thing during the pandemic for pausing, and then the case was made that these people shouldn't be compelled to pay them back so quickly. I get that. But what the court decided is that the Biden administration didn't have this power, this unilateral power. The executive branch didn't have it. So what a lot of Republicans do say, moderates like myself, is kick it to Congress. Let Congress craft a plan. Let Biden do that work with Congress. Because Republicans are not set to lose out as hard on this as they did with Roe, because you've got a lot of Americans out there who are not college educated. And they see this as the elites, propping up white-collar Americans for what they did, going to universities. So you've got blue-collar folks saying, this is my money paying for white-collar folks who are already earning money. Let them pay their loans back.
It's interesting. Well, and I wonder what you think of Richie Torres, a Democrat from New York. He was talking about the Supreme Court today and these decisions, and he thinks it's actually going to backfire on Republicans.
The excesses of the Supreme Court is going to backfire. The Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe versus Wade reduced what was supposed to be a red wave in the 2022 election cycle to nothing more than a red trickle. So not only is the Supreme Court's decision bad law, it's also bad politics, and it's going to come back to haunt the Republican Party.
Is he right?
I absolutely think he is right, Caitlin, because it's not just Gen Z, and there is a lot of young people. The GOP is already in dire trouble with younger voters. This is going to alienate them that much more. But if you look at not just the student loans, but if you look at what happened with the LGBTQ decision, what happened with affirmative action, you are taking huge swaths of Americans. What this Supreme Court did with the support of Republicans is saying to huge swaths of Americans, you all are second-class citizens. You all do not have the same freedoms as others. You all do not have the same rights as others. And they are taking it personally, as they should, because this is a country where the idea and the ideals and the values of America, being able to reach the American dream, being able to be valued as someone who is equal to somebody else, regardless of your skin color, that is now going away in so many parts of our society. And we're going to make Republicans
disagree. I don't see
it.
the court as having taken away the rights of any Americans by saying that the Biden administration was wrong to overreach with this plan. I simply think that they're kicking it and saying that we're checking one branch. branch. So in essence, what we see here is a larger problem that nobody is addressing. The cost of college. What does it mean moving forward for so many young people coming from communities of color to not be able to even afford or not even think to apply to certain universities? I'm not hearing that holistic conversation anywhere on either side, but I don't see rights stripped away by this court with this decision on the student loan forgiveness plan.
I agree that that's a conversation that absolutely should be had, but this Congress is not going to go there because it is way too MAGA-oriented to be able to do that.
But Biden's got to do the work.
But
Bring
here's
them
the thing,
together
the
on this.
hypocrisy of that argument, Rena, in terms of Republicans not wanting to give this kind of student loan the ability to forgive it, when you have people like Marjorie Taylor Greene taking PPP loans at over $200,000.
There's a lot of hypocrisy.
And no one has a problem with that. That is something that students are going to say, what the hell is wrong? And we're going to go to the ballot box and say what we believe.
President Biden himself made that point earlier today.
Absolutely.
Thank you both for joining me on this Friday night. As you heard Jim Obergefell at the top of the hour say, there was a really notable detail that is part of today's Supreme Court case, not the student loans ruling, but the other one on that Colorado web designer who said that she had a First Amendment right to refuse to design wedding websites for same-sex couples. At the heart of the case was a man, they said, who asked for this web designer to make his wedding website. In the court filings, he's identified as Stewart. But CNN tracked down Stewart